Huh. Impa? Temple of Hylia, or Hylia.
Hey!
At last. I've been expecting you, Link. You are doubtless overwhelmed, so I'll explain things as simply as I can. This is the Temple of Hylia, though it will come to be known as the Sealed Temple sometime in the future. You stand in the past, ages before your own time. Here the goddess, Hylia, has only just sealed away demise. And little time has passed since the goddess sent the outcropping of rock into the sky that would one day become Skyloft. It is true to its name. You have passed through the gate of time to an era in the distant past. You will have many questions, but for now you must proceed back through the great doors behind you. Right there. It is there that the person you've risked life and blood to defend waits for you. You've come so far, Link. I'm glad you made it. I imagine Impa filled you in on everything. We've traveled very far from home, to the distant past. In this era, the wounds inflicted on the land during the battle between the goddess and the demon king known as Demise have not yet healed. All the fairy tales about that war we heard growing up in Skyloft, incredible as it may seem, they appear to be all too real. I think it's time you learn the whole story. Let me try to explain. He's playing Zelda's lullaby! The old gods created a supreme power that gave anyone who possessed it the ability to shape reality and fulfill any desire. They called it the Triforce. In his thirst to make the world his own, Demise readied a massive army of monsters for war. He sought to take the Triforce for himself by force. The goddess feared for her people. She used her power to send both them and the Triforce into the sky on a slice of earth she cut away from the land. The floating rock became the new home of our people. In time, it came to be known as Skyloft. After a long and fierce battle, the goddess Hylia succeeded in sealing away Demise. However, soon after the Demon King was imprisoned, it became clear that the seal would not hold long against his fearsome power. Hylia had suffered grave injuries in her battle with the Demon King. She knew that if he broke free again, there would be no stopping him. And if the Demon King were to free himself, it would mean the end of the world for all beings of this land. In order to put an end to the Demon King, Hylia devised two separate plans that set them both into motion. Yeah, I'm about as freaked out as you are, Link. It's kind of interesting. Actually, no, what am I kidding? It is interesting. First, she created Fi. She made the spirit that resides in your sword to serve a single purpose, to assist her chosen hero on his mission. Her second plan was to abandon her divine form and transfer her soul to the body of a mortal. She made this sacrifice, as you have likely guessed, that the supreme power created by the old gods could one day be used. For a while, the supreme power of the Triforce was created by gods. All of its power can never be wielded by one. Knowing this power was her last and only hope, the goddess gave up her divine powers and her immortal form. You've probably figured it out by now, haven't you, Link? I got an idea. You are the chosen hero, and I, Zelda, I am the goddess reborn as a mortal. The day of the ceremony, Girahim's tornado tossed me out of the sky and down to the world below. I was nearly captured by the demonic forces, but I was rescued at the last moment by the old woman who lives in the sealed grounds. I had no memory at all of my existence as Hylia, but she explained it to me. She helped me to remember who I was and what I had to do. I set out to pray at the goddess statue located in each temple across the land. Each statue stirred up memories within me. After I visited them all, Impa, an agent of the goddess, led me here, to the past. All of this is part of the same great effort to prevent the revival of demise. Stripped of his true physical form by the seal that binds him, he takes the shape of an abomination. So we've been fighting demise this entire time? But even in his hideous state, he's more than capable of devouring this land if we allow him to do what he desires. We must stop him from freeing himself from the seal that imprisons him at any cost. That is why I intend to remain here in this time and place, to sustain the seal as best as I can. As long as I continue this vigil, we may be able to prevent the Demon King from fully reviving himself in our own time. I must maintain the seal that Hylia, rather, that I, created so long ago and keep it strong for as long as I am able. With the memories of my former life returning to me, I can see now that this is my purpose. Link, the goddess created Fi and the Great Blade. And the Great Blade she's a part of for a very specific reason. For the task of standing against demise in the monstrous form he now assumes rests solely on your shoulders. Back in our own time, you've already driven him back into his prison twice now. I can't thank you enough for that, Link. Yeah, he looks freaking like what is going on? During your long journey, you've grown so much. You learned wisdom from solving devious puzzles and traps. You gained power by honing and tempering both yourself and your sword. And by overcoming the trial set before you by the goddess, you found true courage. Now that those qualities reside in you, you are worthy of wielding the power the old gods left behind for our kind. You can claim the Triforce. Valiant hero, you have endured many hardships and journeyed far in your quest to reach this place. Along your travels you have found wisdom, power, and courage, and for this I shall bless your sword with the goddess's power. May it give you and your sword the strength to drive back the abomination that threatens this land. The mark you see upon the back of your hand is proof that you are the hero of legend, and that within you dwells sacred power. It is the mark of the Triforce. Stand now, Link. Draw your sword. Boom! Shakalaka. That was not a very good thing to say to getting the Master Sword. I will probably cut that out and say something different. In any case, the goddess has blessed your blade, and the Master Sword has at last achieved its ultimate form. The sword is now imbued with the mythical power to drive back demons, and only Link may wield it. Link, before I say another word, I feel like I owe you an apology. You see, the mark of the Triforce on your hand is a symbol of the greatest power in this world. If you can obtain the actual Triforce, we will have the power to vanquish demise once and for all. The problem is, among the countless souls in this world, only a select few, those with an unbreakable spirit, can wield its might. What, I don't have one? It's impossible to know the true reason why the old gods created the Triforce, but I have a theory of my own. The gods created the Triforce, yet they specifically designed it so that their own kind would never use its power. Somehow, I think that may have been their way of giving hope to all the mortal beings of the land. Which brings us back to you. To face demise and give the land hope, the goddess Hylia needed someone with an unbreakable spirit. That someone is you, Link. But spirit alone wasn't enough. You had to overcome many trials and awaken the hero within yourself so that you could wield that supreme power. And so and so I knew that if it meant saving Zelda, you would throw yourself headfirst into any danger without even a moment's doubt. I used you. I can't begin to tell you how sorry I am for pulling you into all of this, Link. But you have to understand this is a war, and the fate of the land hangs in the balance. I need your strength to tip the scales in our favor. All that may be well-intentioned and true, but it doesn't mean it's right, and it doesn't excuse my actions. But I'm prepared to pay the price for what I've done. To ensure that the seal holds, I will remain here in this time, deep in sleep for thousands of years. Link, I can't say it enough. I'm so sorry for the way I had to involve you in this. But until my memory of things before our lifetime returned to me, I had no idea we were fated to carry such a heavy destiny. Before all this, I was happy just spending my days hanging around with you in Skyloft. I wanted that feeling to last forever. Wait a second, what? Hey! After all this time, you're just gonna up and go? While it's true that I am Hylia reborn, I'm still my father's daughter and your friend. I'm still your Zelda. Then don't go! When Demise is finally gone, there will be no more need for the seal that binds him, and then I'll be able to wake up. So I'm going to ask you a favor, Sleepyhead. Ever since we were kids, I'd always be the one to wake you up when you slept in. But this time when all of this is over, will you come to wake me up? Oh! Oh my god! That is so adorable and cute! Oh, it doesn't really matter. Oh my god, that is just... So she's behind that door! Encased in amber. Are you the old woman, too? Is that what you're gonna tell me? Are you Impa? Or are you the old woman in these sealed grounds? God, that scene was really good. Thank you, Nintendo. I see you've said goodbye. Now you must keep the promise you made to her. You must find the Triforce. Return to your time. There is work to be done here. Do not fear for Zelda. I will watch over her here. Go now and fulfill your destiny. Yeah, $12 says that. The old woman in the sealed grounds is actually Impa. I want to check something. Is it something about her wrist? Or I accidentally read this trivia thing, and it was actually kind of stupid that this happened, but I read this trivia thing about the old woman. Something about her wrist, something she's wearing. So you've returned. Impa? Then you know everything. On the other side of that gate, Zelda waits suspended in a sleep without end, but do not despair, for she is still alive and well. She's been there the entire time! That's kind of weird. True to legend, the Triforce is the one thing with power to vanquish Demise. It is thought to have been hidden within Skyloft by the goddess. Sadly, that is all we know of where it rests. All other clues to its whereabouts have been lost to the ages. Link, you have likely come to the same conclusion, but I will spell it out just the same. The key to finding the Triforce must be in Skyloft. Okay. Go now, Link. Find the Triforce. No. Whoa there. Hold up. What up, dude? Link, there's something I gotta tell you. What? So, Zelda, how's she holding up? Was she okay when you saw her? Actually, it's terrible. It's gotta be hard for the poor girl. But you're going to do something about this mess, right? Of course. Link, I've made up my mind. I'm not going back. I'm staying right here with Granny. Really? Don't look so bummed out. Do I look sad? Nah, I'm doing what I want to do. I don't know how to explain it. I got this feeling in my belly that there's work to do here. Someone's got to watch that big ugly monster, and someone's got to make sure Granny's doing all right. It ain't as action-packed as what you're doing, but maybe this is my destiny. Know what I mean? Besides, it's not so bad here. Living up in the sky was okay, I guess. But don't you just love the way it smells down here? What? That's not weird to say. Well, it's a forest. It's supposed to smell nice. I actually really love forests. It's probably one of my more favorite environments ever. Zelda and Granny have brought life back to the land here. I bet even the weakest sapling could grow into one beast of a tree in soil like this. It'd brighten this place up a little too. I mean, sure, it'd take a few years for it to grow, but as far as I'm concerned, I got nothing but time. It's weird to say out loud, but that's just how I feel right now. So, yeah, you know, when you get back to Skyloft, do me a favor and let people know I'm doing okay down here. Colin and Stritch might get a little emotional since they look up to me, but you tell them I'm happy, okay? Thanks, Link. No problem. No problem, bro. And apparently if you sit, it should heal me. Or to leave the old girl all to herself here. Oh, see, I'm healing, yay! But don't you dare go telling Colin and Stritch that I'm down here taking care of some little old lady. Sure. I know. Okay. He's gonna plant a tree. Okay. Time to head back to Skyloft. Because we got stuff to do. Come on. Load faster! I demand speedy service. Oh! Birdies! Okay, well, I am going to have to call it quits here soon because it's kind of late. And that was kind of an intense part of the game. Also, I got a question. If the life medal gives you 1 extra heart, then does that mean that you can only get a maximum of 19 hearts normally, like naturally, from heart pieces and heart containers? Or are there 20 hearts altogether and then you can get a 21st heart? That's kind of weird. Anyway, I'm going to save, and next time on Skyward Sword we'll be heading back to Skyloft to see what we can do to find the Triforce, which is very reminiscent of Wind Waker, which I am very happy about. Alright, see you guys then. Later, heroes!